What's going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name is Daryl and I'm in the shop again. And we have our 6-meter repeater sitting here on the workbench. And we're going to connect it up to the service monitor and do a little bit of a received sensitivity check on it today. And that will be probably the last thing I do to it before I put it back in the cabinet and maybe either take this thing back out to the repeater site or to, I don't know, push it aside over here until we get a building. Right now, the state of the building that our equipment is kind of, falling apart a little bit. So we're going to buy a shipping container, hopefully. And I think we're going to move all of our equipment into a shipping container. And then that will also accommodate these big 6-meter, this big 6-meter duplexer that's sitting here. The building we have in it, have our stuff in now, it's not large enough to handle these. It's just not long enough to put these things in there. So we've got to do something. So we're going to get a new building, and then once we've got that purchased and installed, then we will move these cans out there, this duplexer out there, and then get the 6-meter repeater rolling. So anyway, today I'd like to check out this receive radio before I reinstall it in the cabinet. And I think I did it before, but I'm not sure if I made a video of it, so I decided just to make a video of it. It's nothing really that great. We're just going to do a cyanide test on it, see how well it receives, because it's going to be our receive radio. And then we'll go from there. I'm not going to do any modifications to the radio. I'm going to just use it as it is, and then we will figure out what to do if we don't get the sensitivity that we want. So it's possible I could put up a preamp in there. I really don't know, but let's see what we got. So let me turn the camera around and we'll see what's going on here and see if we can get this thing running and see what the reading is. All right, well, the first thing we got to do is take the plastic off and get this front panel removed. And the reason why we're going to do that is because, let me pull out my little magic little connector here. In order to do that, we need to hook these little jumpers, this little jumper, up to the speaker so we can hear our radio. And then we'll pipe in a tone to the into the antenna jack, and then we'll see what our reading is. So let me take this plastic apart, and we'll go from there. So the first thing you need to do to remove the front panel, the front display, is grab yourself a T15 Torx and just remove these 2 screws at the very top, or at the very front actually, and we'll remove those. Alright, and then another thing we're going to do before we remove the front is put this adapter on, and we'll go on that here to the antenna jack. Hopefully you can see that. Alright, I don't like these really much. I'm going to have to search for a different adapter, because when I tighten this one down, you can still see that it wobbles. Even though it's tight, I can't get it any tighter than that. But it doesn't tighten up well. So I need to figure out something there. And then we'll put our power cable on. Let's see if I can get it on there the right way. Okay, so and then we're going to take our front panel. Let's see if I can get it moseyed over here. I know you won't be able to see this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this jumper onto these speaker tabs here, and we're going to run that back into the receive side of the service monitor. So let me see if I can get this somehow. Let me go grab a few things, and I'll set this up and then come back. Well, I have everything hooked up here, I believe. I have the jumpers here connected to the cable. Actually, this cable with the jumpers on it is connected to the cyanide port on the service monitor. I have this cable here that is putting in our signal into the radio. So we'll pump a signal in, and then we'll see what kind of signal we get back out. Like, as I reduce the amount of signal coming into the radio, how well the radio is hearing that signal and sending that to the audio stages. So let's do that. So let me move the camera just a little bit, and let's see here. Let's see if I can zoom you in a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me move the camera a little bit, and then we'll start this. All right, I got the camera moved, and you guys are looking at the service monitor here. So the first thing we got to do is, after we get all of our cables all hooked up, we need to set this monitor up for our cyanide test. So you can see down here, we need to push the cyanide button here, do our cyanide test. So now we say cyanide. You can move over and take a look there. That's fine. This is fine. So now we're going to move up here, and we're going to say generate. Okay, so now we need to come down here, and right now what we're listening to is we're listening to 51.150 megahertz coming through the radio, and we're trying to look for our 12 dB cyanide. So right now we're at 18.5 with a signal of minus 0.88.1. So we're going to come down here, and what we want to do is we want to back this signal off. So the higher the higher this number is, which is minus, actually it's lower, see? So we're going to go low. So we're going to start backing this off until we get this bar down to 12. So you can see where we're at here. We're at minus 0.98.2. So we're going to keep backing it off. And we want somewhere around 118 to 120 before we start not hearing a signal. So we can see we're backing off. We're at 106. We're at 11. Actually, a little bit higher than that. So we're looking for an average. So somewhere around here. So we're not quite getting to where we want to go. See, we're only at 108.2. So it's not the greatest received signal. I'm going to let it hang here for a minute. I might be able to reduce it just a little bit more. That's a little bit too far. So somewhere right there, maybe just a little bit higher. So somewhere around 108, okay, is where we're at. So not the best. I think the spec is like 123 maybe. So we're losing some because we're making this run out of the frequency band that it was supposed to be in. So we hacked it and brought it up into the ham band, and we're going to lose a little bit of receive from that. So, you know, what can we do? I mean, we can get in here and do these little modifications to see if it makes a difference. I don't really think it's going to, but I think we should just leave it where it's at. And maybe at one point I get another one of these radios, and I come in and I try to work on it to see if we can make it better. But right now, that's what it is. So what a bummer. And you know, I didn't expect anything. That's what I expected, really. I didn't expect it to be all that great. But I tried to do the modification that they wanted before, or they suggested for doing this this little thing here, this little project. But I got no results from it, very little results. So I did not continue with this radio doing it. Other people have had better luck, so maybe one day I'll try it again, but I probably won't. So what we got now is a minus 108.1 for cyanide, which is, you know, you kind of want to get down in here and minus 120, something like that, minus 118, something around there, or 108. So things you could do to help your situation is, you know, put a preamp in line and help to bring more signal to the radio so those real weaker stations can get into the repeater. So, and that was my plan all along, to do that. And I want to be able to, you know, figure out what preamp I want for it, and, you know, how I want to control this thing, whether I want to turn it on and off through the controller, which I can do that. But that's where we're at right now. So what do you guys think? I mean, is there anybody out there that has any suggestions as to what I can do to get the receive sensitivity a little better on this? I know the brass screw modification, I did try that earlier on this radio, and I got zero good results with that. So I did not decide to go that way. But anyway, that's where we're at now. All right, I got the cover off of the radio, and I just thought I'd show you the brass screw modification that you could do to this. So here is your filters here, your receive stage filters. So what this is, and I have some of these screws here, is there's no cores in here, so you can screw these brass screws in, and if you can see those, you can screw these things in, and while you're doing it, you're going to look for your cyanide. You're going to look at your cyanide and see if it changes for the better when you're putting these in. So we're going to go down here and turn our tone back on again. So right now we're at our 108 cyanide. So I'm going to screw one of these in and see if I can get this up a little bit. It's possible that I've had some mixed results with these, and these screws are too long, so I probably won't sit here and just kind of put them all in. But what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for this to go high. I'm looking for more than plus 12. So as you can see, when I screw it in, I've lost some sensitivity. So I'm going to back it out a little bit. It's possible if I got some shorter screws, this might make a difference. So right now I'm pretty much right at 12. So let me get another screw, and we'll just, you know, put another one. We'll put one in here, down here at the bottom, or at the full right. And you can see it doesn't really do anything for this radio. I guess it, you know, it just wants to stay pretty much where it's at. And I could go through and do a whole alignment on this radio, which I can do. But I don't really think it needs it. But I definitely will talk to some other people who have done this before and see what they have to say. So yeah, so you just basically can keep putting these screws in and see if you can get this to go up a little higher. But I'm having zero luck with it, you know, going up any higher. Let's see if I can find something to help me screw this in with. So yeah, so I'm not having a whole lot of luck with this. this little modification. You can see it, I'm losing it, you know, right here by putting that in. So I really don't get anything out of it. I've lost sensitivity. Let's screw this in a little bit more. See, the more I screw it in, the more I lose sensitivity. I'll take it back out. Now look at that. So I leave that there. That's about the best for that one. Let's see if we can pop it up a little bit. Not really. We're kind of back to where we were. Go a little slow. Nothing really. And not really much help. Let's screw in another one and see if that makes a difference. Some people had 3 screws, some people had more screws. But yeah, I'm really not getting anything more than what I started with. I'm still at 108. No big improvement with these at all. So we'll put some more in. But I wanted to show you that. You know, I did try this before, and I got no real big improvement out of anything. It's pretty much stayed the same. Yeah, right there is a little bit. See now it popped up to around 15. So let's leave that screw there. I'm not opposed to trying. Let's screw in another one. See if we can get it up higher. So let's bring it down. I'm still not out of minus 108 yet. Like I said, it's not going to make a big improvement. You know, I'm losing. All right, well, I'm not impressed with that. We'll put it that way. Not impressed. So that's where we pretty much stand. I didn't have any luck with it before, and I really didn't have any luck with it now. So I probably will not use that because it just doesn't do anything for it. So that's the way it's going to be. So if I'm going to get anything out of this radio, it's either going to be able to go in there and just do a real quick tune-up on it. But I think everything, for the most part, I think everything's where it's supposed to be. These screws don't really do anything for it. So I'd have to get shorter screws anyway, I believe. Because you have to be able to put this cover back on, the shield. So right now I could not do that with these. So I'd have to go with, I think these are 1/2-inch screws. I'd have to go with 1/4 inch. But it's possible maybe the 1/4 inch, since there's less material there, it would be better. I really don't know. And I'm not impressed with this. But I wanted to show you it anyway. That you know, I at least tried it. So I think our plans going forward are just to use a preamp, and then maybe somewhere down the line I can find a better receiver for the 6-meter repeater, something that's designed for what we want to use, you know, what we're doing. So that's always the trade-off with these things. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's banging their head at some point when they see this, saying that they know how to make it better. So if you're out there, or if you're ever out there, certainly jump on the comments and tell me what I can do to make it better. But anyway, that's where we're at, and I wanted to show where, you know, our baseline for our cyanide is 108 minus 108 point, I think it was 108.1. So I wanted to show that, and you know, just kind of give you an idea how this works. Well, we did our cyanide test on the 6-meter receiver, or the radio we're going to use for our receiver, and we got a minus 108.1 cyanide, which, you know, it's okay but not good. It's okay but not good. It's not good, we'll put it that way. It's not what I want. I will definitely keep looking for solutions to make it better. I will seek out some other hams that have done this conversion and see what they have to say about it. I have read a lot of them online. A lot of people have done this conversion over to the ham band, and they've had decent luck, I guess, but I need a little bit more than that, you know, from this radio. So I guess the only alternative is just to put a preamp in line, but I am open to suggestions from you guys out there, what you would do to make this receive better. I mean, do I need to go through and do a whole alignment? I don't know. This is the first time I've ever did this particular kind of thing where I was taking a radio and trying to make a repeater out of it. I've gone through and I have aligned radios and things like that, but I've never tried to really spend a lot of time on making them talk out of their, you know, their designed bandwidth. So I will just leave it in here, leave this at this point here, and we will, you know, we'll see what we got. But I'm just going to put this thing back together, and I'm going to put it in the repeater, and for all intents and purposes, this repeater is ready to go. And then we'll try it in the field, and if we need an amplifier, if we need a preamp on there, then I'll put a preamp in line, and then we'll see how it performs. So anyway, it was a short video, just a little something as to what's going on with a 6-meter repeater. So I'll put this thing back in there, and then the next video we'll look at the SCOM 7330, and we will take a look at how to program that thing. So if you enjoy this kind of content, like always, subscribe and let me know what you want to see. And thank you for being here, and thank you to all my subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, you guys have a good day.